We're so used to a world of things we can see and touch. But what if one of the most divine things is completely invisible? Today, we're exploring Śrīkālahasti, a temple that's dedicated to the element of air. Yeah, you heard that right. Let's get into it.
So this ancient verse, it's all about prana, the life force. I mean, think about it. It's saying that the divine, the ultimate reality, isn't some far-off concept. It's the breath itself. It's this invisible, eternal energy that connects every single one of us. And that's exactly what's worshipped at Śrīkālahasti. Pretty profound, right?
Okay, so this is where it gets really wild. Deep inside the temple, in the most sacred, sealed-off room, there's a lamp. And its flame is always flickering, always dancing, like there's a gentle breeze. But here's the kicker. There is no wind. The room is totally sealed. No drafts, no vents, nothing. So what is going on here?
All right, let's dive right into this mystery. This isn't just a cool phenomenon. It's the key to understanding this entire place.
So Śrīkālahasti is known as a Vaayu sthala. That literally means a place of air. See, it's one of 5 amazing temples in South India, and each one is dedicated to one of the 5 elements: earth, water, fire, ether, and here, air. And in this temple, Lord Shiva isn't a statue you can see. He is the air. He's Vaayu. And that flickering flame we were just talking about, that's seen as the constant living proof of his invisible presence.
Which brings up a really fascinating question, right? How in the world do you worship something you can't even see or touch? Let's talk about it.
Well, the answer lies in something called the Vaayu linga. Now, a linga is a symbol of Shiva, but this one is special. It's what's called Swayambhu, which means it's self-born. It wasn't carved by anyone. It's believed to have just manifested. It's a perfect symbol for air, isn't it? It's there, it's real, but it's totally formless and you can't really get your hands on it.
And when you look closer, every single thing about this linga points back to the element of air. It's self-born, just like air. It just is. It's untouchable. Get this, even the priests aren't allowed to physically touch it during rituals. It's like trying to grab the wind. It represents prana, that life breath we all share. And people say it gives off this subtle camphor-like smell, a fragrance with no visible source. It's just brilliant. So this idea of honoring the intangible, the unseen, it's not just about the idol. The stories of this temple are all about how it's not what you do, but why you do it.
And you can see this perfectly in 2 incredible stories. We've got 2 totally different approaches to the divine, and both are seen as perfect. You have the goddess Parvati, all discipline and proper worship. And then you have Kanapa, a hunter, whose devotion was just wild, raw, and full of instinctive love. 2 paths, same destination.
First up, Parvati. So she was cursed and separated from Shiva, and she came right here to this spot. She underwent this intense spiritual practice, where her very breath became a prayer. Her devotion was so powerful that Shiva not only came back to her, but gave her this amazing name, Jnana Prasunambikai. It means, she who blossoms as wisdom. How beautiful is that? And then you have Kanapa, a hunter who knew nothing about scriptures or proper rituals. His way of worship was to offer Shiva some of the meat from his hunt. Then one day, he sees the linga, and it looks like one of its eyes is bleeding. So what does he do? Without even thinking, he takes out his own eye and places it on the stone. Then the other eye starts bleeding. He gets ready to take out his second eye, and that's when Shiva appears and stops him, saying that this raw, selfless love was the greatest devotion of all. Wow.
This whole idea that your intention matters more than the exact method is really hammered home in another famous story. You've got a spider, a serpent, and an elephant, all worshipping the linga in their own way. The spider wove a web to protect it, the elephant bathed it with water, and the serpent guarded it. The problem was, their acts of devotion got in each other's way, and tragically it led to their demise. But here's the point. Shiva saw their pure hearts, their sincerity, and granted all 3 of them liberation, or moksha. It's all about the intention.
Okay, so the temple is all about embracing the unseen, right? Well, that doesn't just mean the air. It also includes these invisible forces that shape our destiny, known as Rahu and Ketu.
So, who or what are Rahu and Ketu? They're often called shadow planets, but they're not actual planets you could see with a telescope. They're invisible points in space, specifically the points where the orbits of the sun and moon cross. It's where eclipses happen. And in astrology, they represent those unseen forces in our lives, You know, our karma, our deepest desires, things from past lives that can sometimes cloud our judgment or eclipse our vision.
And here's why that's important for our story. Śrīkālahasti is famous for being the place to go for remedies related to Rahu and Ketu. It's a parihara kshetra. It makes perfect sense, doesn't it? A temple dedicated to the invisible element of air is the perfect sanctuary for these invisible shadow forces. Instead of being feared, these cosmic shadows are welcomed, and people come here to find clarity.
All right, so we've talked a lot about invisible energy and unseen forces. But let's bring it back to the physical world. Because this temple isn't just an idea. It's a real place with an incredible history carved into its very stones. I mean, this place is ancient. The story of the structure itself goes back to the 10th century, with the Chola dynasty building the first parts. Then you fast forward to the 1500s, and the legendary King Krishnadevaraya builds this absolutely massive, 12-foot-tall gateway tower. And it's no museum. To this day, it's a bustling, vibrant center for rituals, a living bridge to the past.
And the architecture itself is just stunning. You have that towering gateway, the Gopuram. There's a hall with 100 pillars, each one covered in amazing carvings. And all over the walls you can find inscriptions left by everyone from kings to regular people, telling stories of their devotion. Every single stone here tells a story. And it all leads back to that one quiet room, that inner sanctum, with that mysterious dancing flame.
So, at the end of the day, that's what makes Śrīkālahasti so special. It's a place that honors everything we can't see. The unseen breath of the divine, the intangible feeling of pure devotion, even the invisible shadows of our own destiny. Here, all that unseen stuff isn't just acknowledged, it's celebrated, it's made sacred. And that leaves us with one last question to think about. If the core idea here is that the divine is in the air, that every breath is sacred, well, what does that mean for us? If every single breath you take is an act of worship, what does a prayer even look like then? Maybe it stops being something you say and starts being something you live.